game developers to piss their shit onto, like finding the right cat litter. I mean, you get the ideal texture, particle size, and natural herbal attractant, just so the cat can come in and say, this is a good place to piss and shit. But Jungle Hunt is a bona fide classic. I used to play this on the Atari all the time. The arcade is better graphically, but I like the Atari's music during the cannibal part better. Next we have Zookeeper. You run around bricking in animals and making sure they don't escape. The sounds in this game are hilarious. It's kind of weird that he bricks them in. I mean, that'd be a pretty shitty zoo. Yeah, imagine paying $20 to get into a zoo and then all the animals are behind brick walls. Like Roger Waters. I mean, there was the album, the Pink Floyd album, Animals.
AVGN 6 on final approach.
And then there was the wall. Here's the most metal fucking game so far. Civalian or Civalian?
Civalian.
You control the Mecha Dragon, a robot motherfucking dragon in space blowing fire on everything. This game seems like it'd be amazing, but you die so easily. I mean, how in the hell do you make a game about a Mecha Dragon suck? That's a letdown. Plump Pop is another game that is kinda like another game, but with a twist. It's Breakout or Arkanoid, but instead of launching a ball at blocks, you're launching your child at flying saucers. It's a game about child endangerment in the name of saving the world from aliens? Imagine if the only way to save the world was to launch your only child into the fucking stratosphere to smash into UFOs! Oh my god, just for a medal of goddamn honor! Frontline. This game is basically the prelude to Akari Warriors, except even worse. I mean, holy shit is it bad. This might be the worst game in the entire collection. So, unlike Akari Warriors, here you play as a guy who's constantly unhinging all of his joints. His legs are all floppy and he can't hit shit with his gun. I'd rather brush my teeth with aardvark shit. That's ground up, digested dead ants all stuck in my teeth. Fuck this game. Wild Western is shitty too, but not as shitty as Frontline. But it's damn close. It's hard as fuck to hit anything, and it controls like ass. The best part of the game is the fucked up looking horse in the cutscene between levels, and it looks like it has Homer Simpson's mouth or something. The Fairyland Story is a pretty bizarre game. It's one of those games where you have to clear the screen to move on like in Bubble Bobble. But here, you play as a witch who turns enemies into cakes. After a few levels, she rides around on a goofy-ass wingless dragon. Also, in the later levels, there's crosses and shit in the background, and you have to fight the Pope. What in God's name is going on? Don Doko Don is another similar game. You're a gnome in Maryland. Not sure if they meant Maryland or Maryland or the state Maryland. You clear screens with the saddest attack ever. I mean, it's hard as shit to hit anything because your hammer has zero range. Yeah, I hate this game. Kiki Kai Kai is a weird one. It's almost like a shoot 'em up, but not. It's actually a prequel to the SNES game Pocky and Rocky. You play as a Japanese priestess whose family gets taken away on a boat or something, so you set out to save them. It's insanely hard and has no continues, so I didn't get very far. One thing, what is this snake? What is this snake here? What is this thing coming out of the shrine? What is this shit? Kicks, super kicks, and Vo-Fi are all the same game, really. You draw lines and try to clear away parts of the level while avoiding enemies and stuff that fly around the screen. Shack and Pop is a game that has all the enemies from Bubble Bobble. I think it's kind of like a prequel or something. You play as some kind of thing named Mr. Chakin, and your hearts get stolen. So you navigate a maze to find and release them. The game plays like garbage. You drop bombs to attack, but they kind of just do whatever they fucking feel like. Sometimes the bomb goes in front of me, and sometimes behind me. But either way, I always end up dead. Yeah, I beat one level of this piss puddle and would rather punch myself in the nutsack than play another. I've talked about Bubble Bobble before, and you all know the gist of it, but here's the sequel, Rainbow Islands. I'd never guess that this was a sequel to Bubble Bobble, but it says right there on the title screen, the story of Bubble Bobble 2. Well then what about Bubble Bobble 2 on Nintendo? Oh, we'll get into that some other time. You play as a chubby kid in a lederhosen with the magical ability to throw rainbows. What's kind of cool is you could even use them to walk up to higher platforms. I mean, it's a pretty competent platformer game, but it scrolls upwards instead of sideways. So even though it feels very different than Bubble Bobble, I gotta say, it's pretty fun. Another game related to Bubble Bobble is Bust a Move Again. Later on, the Bubble Bobble Dragons would even show up in the series. This is one of the most addicting games in the compilation. Each level's background moves forward in time. You have the Big Bang or something, a caveman, and Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that thing? Oh, fuck this game. I never want to see it again. Taito did some puzzle games well, and others not so well. Plotting is garbage fire. You throw blocks at other blocks. It has weird music and bland as hell graphics. And that's it. 2-Bit and Cleopatra Fortune, on the other hand, are pretty cool Tetris-like games and are really easy to sink some time into, especially 2-Bit. You know, this is a good game. I should play it some more, but I got too many shitty games to get to. Poochie Carrot is a weird one. Who would have thought with a name like that? It's like Breakout, but this time you have to knock down jewels. If you miss, the jewels get lower. I died right away, then got super lucky and fucked up the computer player. But those characters in the background are so annoying. They jump around and yell and do a bunch of weird anime shit. It's super distracting and makes the action hard to follow. But even weirder is Camel Tribe. Why is it called Camel Tribe? Well, because there's a camel in the logo. Why is there a camel in the logo? I have no idea, because there's 0 camels anywhere in the game. It's all about navigating a marble through a rotating maze. Maybe it's meant for camels to try? Oh, can camel try? Can camel try? Camel try? Taito also made some pretty decent shooting games like Battle Shark. In the arcade, the machine actually had you looking through a periscope and firing at things. But on the TV, it's very plain. You shoot torpedoes at other subs. I mean, it's okay.
Let's get to work, Battle Shark.
Space Gun is an alien-inspired shooter. It's really bloody, too. Alien chunks splatter on the screen, and they explode in spectacular fashion. There's people you can save, but I accidentally shoot them. They run at you while you're in the middle of a firefight, so it's their own damn fault. Fucking idiots. There's a game here called Operation Wolf, where every time you fire the gun, the screen flashes in a way that's so horrible it could possibly cause seizures. I'm not joking around, and for that reason, I'm not going to show it. So this makes it a rare instance where the game is actually so bad that I can't show it for safety and health reasons. Luckily, the sequel, Operation Thunderbolt, gets rid of the flashing and is a lot more fun. The action is pretty intense. You play as a Green Beret fighting terrorists and saving hostages. They're as dumb as the ones in Space Gun and just run at you while you're firing. You destroy everything: terrorists, tanks, jeeps, boats, fighter jets, and with nothing but an Uzi. I mean, damn, that fucking Uzi is a weapon of mass destruction. Nukes would look at that Uzi and say, nah man, fuck this, I'm out of here. I like how the terrorists drive tanks through the hallways of their office buildings. How do they get in and out? At the end, you have to save the pilot. I think you can accidentally kill him, but I was too good and wasted the leader and flew the hostages home. All in a day's work for the Green Beret guy and his magical Super Uzi. So now from light gun shooters to shoot 'em ups, Taito had a lot of really good ones, but one that sucks crocodile cock is Tokyo, which could be a typo because it takes place in Tokyo. It's slow, boring, and when you die, you have to wait for the game to reset. And there's no continue, so if you die, that's it. The projectiles are practically invisible, so I die constantly. You can get power-ups, but they can actually be shot down. Just skip this one. Gun Frontier is another weird one. It's a Wild West space shooter. Your ship is a big gun with wings, and the bosses are giant revolvers. It has the same problem as Tokyo, though. When you die, it sends you back. I got stuck at this mini-boss for a while. It's not a bad game, but fuck it anyway. Gekkarinden, Grid Seeker, and Metal Black are all 3 very generic shooters with different gimmicks. Honestly, I have trouble remembering which is which. Metal Black has a bunch of blobby things that power your laser, or give you a super powerful beam that kills everything. Gekkarinden has space helicopters. Yeah, space helicopters! Also, you go back in time and fight old-timey planes with super space planes. Yeah, imagine being in the 1940s during World War II, and a fucking space helicopter comes out of nowhere and obliterates your whole squad. Gridseeker tells the story of the Second Persian Gulf War that happened in the distant future of 1999. So it's sorta like they kinda almost predicted the Iraq War. Although, the big difference, there was no giant fucking octopus tank. Raystorm is a mediocre 3D shooter. It looks awesome, but it plays like the rest. Taito also included Darius Gaiden and G Darius, which are pretty popular shoot-em-ups. They're fine, I guess. They play mostly like R-Type or Gradius. G Darius is in 3D and has an attack that lets you take possession of enemy ships to use as weapons. They're pretty cool games, but what I don't understand is why the fuck all the bosses are giant fish robots? It's the strangest theme I've ever seen in a shooter like this. They all have weird-ass names like Ancient Dozer and Prickly Angler. I think I asked